morning once again, Coach Grosz.
Morning, Greg.
We're back at it again for 5 good minutes here. You've played 3 games since we last talked. Last week you played Martin Luther College on Friday, Bethany Lutheran College on Saturday, and Crown College this last Tuesday to boost your conference record to 7-1. How good did those wins feel? I know they maybe weren't as close as you expected, but you can never prepare your kids enough to, for any conference game, depending on the other team. So your thoughts on those games?
Right. I thought we played well at home the weekend. Martin Luther on Friday night. Ended up being an 8-point ball game. And then Saturday was a big game against Bethany. Both teams were 5-1 heading into that game. So first place was on the line. Thought the guys came out, really defended well. We had a really good intensity about us on that end of the court, and rebounded the ball well. And they made enough shots. Went to Crown on Tuesday night, a road test. We had been at home the previous 4, so kind of our first road game in quite a while. And started a little bit slowly. Give Crown a lot of credit. They played with a lot of energy, especially on the boards. But then we settled down there and made a ton of shots. Really shot the ball well from the 3-point line in that game, and ended up pulling away at the end there.
What would you say was the difference? I mean, you've had some teams shoot the lights out on you this year, over 50%. And then Tuesday night at Crown, you shot over 50% from the 3-point line. Wade Chitwood hit 5 threes. Lance Westberg hit 5 threes. As a team, you had 15. Yeah. Almost half of your shots that were made were threes. Is that because of the defense you played against in terms of their style? I know we talked a little before going on camera here about their zone defense and how they played you, or is it just luck of the draw?
Well, obviously there's some nights where the ball's just going in and kids are shooting with a lot of confidence, and that was one of those nights. But Lance and Tom and Wade are all good shooters too, so they're very capable of that. Especially the first half. Crown was playing a matchup zone, and they do a great job of that, but we did also a good job of moving the ball, and got some good looks, and the guys stepped up and knocked him down. So that was fun. That was the best we had shot from 3 all year, so hopefully that continues moving forward here.
We talked last week about the importance of your bench, and we saw it on Tuesday night. Lance had 20 points, career high. Ellis Libby had a career high 11 points, I think it was, didn't miss a shot. So do you see yourself working more of those guys into the system, or are there certain guys that you're kind of pairing up together and saying, these guys play better with these guys, or, what's the process with that?
Since Christmas, since our Eau Claire trip, and we have been, basically playing 10 guys, and they've all been playing well. I think that's one good thing about our team, or tough thing for other teams as they prepare for us, is we do have good balance, and we really can go 10 deep. I mean, you look at our leading scorer right now, Wade, is about 12 a game. We have 3 other guys just under him, a couple guys at 8 or 7. So, our philosophy, especially offensively, is motion basketball and kind of taking what the defense gives you and having guys make shots, when they're open. And we're doing a good job of that. And we're also doing a really good job of sharing the basketball. These last few games we've been in the 20s as far as assists goes. Which means the ball's moving, players are moving, and we're finding the open man, and the open man right now is stepping up and making plays.
This weekend, you're heading to St. Scholastica on Friday, Northland College on Saturday. Those are every game in conference play is big. We've talked about that before, but you're in the second portion of your UMAC schedule now, and St. Scholastica always seems to play better in their second half or down the stretch, kind of same as Bethany Lutheran. What do you see going into those games? You've played them once here at home. Now you're on the road. What do you know about those teams?
You're right in your first statement. There really is not an easy game in the conference this year. I mean, teams really need to show up and work hard and play well to be successful. So that underlays everything that we talk about or think about going into these games. But it'll be a great test. We were fortunate to beat both of them at home, but now we're on the road, which is going to make it tougher. St. Scholastica Friday night, very good team, veteran team. We've had so many great battles with them over the years, so that I'm sure it's going to be a tough game. Schmitz and Tester, very, very, very good players. they're a very solid team. Northland, same thing. A lot of seniors. They got hit with one of their best players, Mackey, going out with an injury, so that's been a little difficult, I think, for them to probably overcome. But they play great defense. They rebound well. They're tough-nosed. So that'll be difficult too. So we're taking it one game at a time. We want to keep getting better. We want to keep working hard, and we'll see where it takes us at the end of the day.
Awesome. Well, real quick, just aside from the stats, we want to ask a question personal of you, like we've done the last couple times, and wanted to ask you about your coaching influences, guys or gals who have had an influence on how you coach. And obviously that doesn't have to be just current coaches or your high school coach or something like that. So would you be willing to share with us some influence for you?
Yeah, sure. I mean, there's a lot, like you said, so I feel bad if I leave anybody out here. But, I probably got started in coaching. My older brother, Greg, was one of my coaches growing up, and then I coached with him at Edina High School. So he was probably my first influence. As far as X's and O's, really enjoyed Dick Bennett and how he teaches the game and coaches the game.
He's from Wisconsin.
He's from Wisconsin. He's been all over, but Wisconsin Badgers is where I really spent most time kind of studying him. Linda Shuck, who coached here in our women's program for 13 years. Linda and I bounced a lot of things off each other. She definitely had an impact. My father-in-law, Joe Smith, who also coached here, had a huge impact as far as philosophy and just incorporating, my faith into my coaching has had a really big impact that way. Guys like Tony Dungy, John Wooden, love reading about their philosophy, how they treat people, their players, officials, what their definitions of success are. So, those are some that come to mind, but I'm sure there's many others I'm missing too.
Excellent. Well, thanks for sharing that, and we'll look forward to talking after this weekend.
Thanks, Greg.